Shindy, 5 years at Huddersfield Town. There was always going to be a point when you left the club, but now just about to leave. How emotional is this for you? And just describe your time at Huddersfield Town for us.
Yeah, I mean, in the life of a football player, there's always going to be like changes, obviously. And speaking that honest, I think when I arrived here 5 years ago, I never thought that I'm going to be here for 5 years, really. Yeah, but since I first joined the club, it's been an unbelievable journey for me, both ways, with unbelievable highs, but also with a fair share of struggle, obviously. So in football, as in life, I guess, this is what it's about, to kind of get also through these difficult moments. But yeah, to sum it up, I think for me and my family, it's been a hell of a ride, and yeah, we're not regretting to have done this step, and also sticking here for that long. Yeah, because this place is special for us, obviously.
Like you say, there was loads of highs and lows and struggles. It was really a real emotional roller coaster, wasn't it, during your time with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I came over here and I thought, like, I don't want to play against relegation, really. Just having a look at the table for the last couple of years, like the club was always in the lower midfield, maybe even relegation battle. So it was a kind of a risk to go here and kind of jump into a insecure situation. But yeah, as sometimes in life you make choices where you don't maybe expect big things, and yeah, what happened in the first year and in the second year afterwards was just something I would never have dreamt of, really. I didn't really know what was waiting for me here. I didn't really know how tough the championship actually is, and I think this was also the big advantage we had, that all the guys coming from abroad maybe didn't know how tough it actually is, and we just played and just got on with it. And it was a special group of players, a special dynamic around this football club as well. And yeah, it's very nice to be a part of that I was a part of it, and that I could give together with the team, that we could make some special memories for everyone who's supporting this club, obviously, as well.
Yeah, and obviously your name is etched in the history books as well, scoring that penalty at Wembley.
Yeah, again, I mean, you know me. I guess also the supporters have quite kind of a feeling of who I am and what my nature is, really. So I'm not the kind of guy who wants that spotlight and wants to be in the spotlight, really. I feel like this time it was more than this penalty for me, but I understand that it's very special for the supporters and for the club, and this is also for my own life, I guess. It's been a game changer, and it's also the things, though, the group of players I had the honor to work with. Also the story behind it, that nobody thought we've got the chance to go up. When we were up there, nobody thought that we're going to stay up. It's just this underdog, I guess, role which made it even more special, and it's been as you said, it's been an unbelievable ride, and I'm glad that I was part of it.
Do you think that moment at Wembley is the best point in your career? The biggest high?
It's definitely up there. It's always hard to compare those things because, as I said, I have to argue with myself if I'd say it's one penalty which is which is just the best situation of life. It's definitely the kick that made my dream come true as well, and my kind of dream always to play on the highest level, football on the highest level, and actually actively being part of it, of playing and kind of performing in the team that got promoted in this unbelievable season is means a lot to me. You know, if I play in the second league all the time and then swap to a club or change clubs, make a move to a club which is already in the top gear, it's a bit different. But I guess that's how it should be with me. That you have to work, and earn it yourself if you want to be up there. And as I said, that it turned out the way it went then in the first year of championship. It's just unbelievable, and made a dream come true for me. And that's why it's obviously definitely one of the greatest days of my life. No matter what will come there in the future, I hope that there are also a couple of more positive and amazing mountains I can climb, you know, and challenges I can face and come through successfully. But this is going to be up there, obviously, with the whole dynamic behind it and the things that followed as well. I'm glad that I went to David and said that I want to take a penalty, to be fair.
And then the survival in the first year of the Premier League, again, the club was written off, the players were written off, that we wouldn't have enough quality to stay in the league, and we defied those odds.
Yeah, a very special year. Again, I have to say on that one, maybe from personal, probably the best year I've had, performance-wise. Unbelievable season where we started really fast, where you could see on the pitch how much we enjoyed, everyone enjoyed that the dream come true. Obviously it's not only me, there have been a lot of players who have never played Premier League before, and there was just pure excitement, enjoyment, and kind of not being afraid of big teams, of names and whatnot was great. I remember the Crystal Palace game, obviously. Their supporters applauding us when we walked off the pitch after the game. It's just thinking back to it, I almost get goosebumps. So it's been a good time. It's been a really good time, and a time also that I will never forget, of course. But yeah, it's almost unreal. It feels like decades ago.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It really does. Obviously, this season didn't quite go to plan, though, with injuries that you've had to deal with. I suppose that's the most disappointing part for you, isn't it? That you haven't been able to kind of say goodbye to the supporters in a full stadium because of COVID. Yeah,
now talking about this time in the Premier League, almost forgot about like the dynamic we got as well in our home games, especially, you know, with the supporters behind us. And even in the last year where it was really difficult, I felt like I've seen it like in my former club. Maybe it was a bit different as well. There was a lot of frustration. Don't get me wrong, I know that there was frustration, there should be as well, about how the things went when the supporters could come. Still, I felt that they push us, you know, that they help us to get the results we needed. And yeah, this season obviously was the first one in my career where I had to deal with injuries, really. So I had a couple of things that were maybe a 10-day, 5-day, maybe 2-week maximum. But like, I'm always available usually. So with the last year, speaking really honest now, I thought sometimes, you know, I could use a break. I could use a break to recharge especially the mental point of battery was just I feel like empty, And then there was this only 2 weeks. I think we had a summer break of 2 weeks, and a new coach coming in, a new idea, a demanding style. This was refreshing for me, but I felt in general after, like in the course of the 5 years I've been here, I felt like almost each year it was so much football that you kind of needed your time away from it. But obviously I didn't expect it to turn out the way it turned out. Then I had a couple of smaller things at the beginning of the season, but nothing major. With the thing then before Christmas, for the first time in my career, I had to deal with that situation, and with the situation of being injured and not being able to help. And the first weeks weren't too bad. Like, obviously my daughter was born as well in that time, so I had the distraction I needed, and I could feel like I was missing football a lot. And I was always thinking, like, when I'm back fit, I've got half the season left almost. But yeah, when then the second injury on top of it happened, this kind of was the most frustrating part, because then you would kind of calculate best case scenarios, worst case scenarios. Can I play again before the end of the season? Will the supporters be back? What if you're not going to stay here next season? All those questions. And unfortunately, it turns out to be now almost the worst case, that I can't. It is the worst case that I can't be back before the end of the season. Fortunately, the team obviously done their job, and it's also like a job well done. I was speaking to a couple of guys, so I can only imagine how tough it must have been with the load of games and the rhythm of the games and the schedule, which was ridiculous at times. So very well done to them. Unfortunately, I couldn't help at the end, and the most frustrating part is it doesn't really fit to what the journey I had here, if that makes sense. It doesn't really fit. I'd love to have had another game in front of everyone and say my goodbyes. But I guess we're all sitting in the same boat in a way, and unfortunately we can't just change the things like we want them. So nevertheless, it's always going to be a learning process as well, and an experience I'm thankful for that I went through this experience as well, because I think this is also part of a football career, I guess.
What did the fans mean to you? Because everyone could see in the stadium when they were there, you had special moments with them, especially after we won, celebrating in front of the cowshed. What were they like to play in front of, and what do they mean to you when they were singing your name, pushing the team on?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can speak on everyone's behalf. When David was in, I think we had a very energetic way of playing football, so it was kind of easy for the supporters to bite into it, and kind of almost making it so hard for teams that came to our place to make it a fortress, because there was like literally the energy on the pitch, the energy on the stands was too much for some teams, and this is, I think they played a big part in our promotion season, why we got promoted, and then why we had this final. Like, it was only a notch, wasn't it? It's like this one, maybe 0.5%, which then made the difference. But like, obviously, don't underestimate the impact that supporters can have on that. Also in the second year, I think, I mean, everyone was so excited one day. Like, we went out of the team bus, people waiting, like cheering. Afterwards, wanting signatures and whatnot. You need to appreciate it and embrace it, I think, as well as a football player. But even the year after, then you could still feel that people are still enjoying. Like, halfway through the season, you basically knew it's not going to be, we're not going to survive in the league, but like, people would appreciate, even when we play for nothing anymore, they would appreciate if we give our best. And so it's easy. These supporters here is something special, because I guess it was also because we came in let's say when David came in and brought in the players in this transfer window, I think we created a special bonding with them. So it was always going to be probably a good relationship. I mean, there's always going to be frustration, and the expectations always go higher and higher and higher, obviously. But I've never seen something like that. But the ruthless support, even if it's difficult. I've seen it different. Yeah, I've seen it different, and all I can say is thank you to everyone. Like, not only me, like my family. When I was around with family, they would also respect they gave me some space and whatnot. So I can only speak like really, really highly of everyone, and I would like to thank everyone for supporting me, for making me feel welcome as well, and also on behalf of the team, I guess, even when it's difficult, of sticking with us and give us this push to, no one knows what would have happened if we didn't have the support. Just
finally, will Huddersfield Town always have a special place in your heart?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talked a lot about this now in this interview. It's funny, and sometimes in life you make decisions where you're maybe a bit scared of, and this definitely was one. I've never left my home, my boyhood club basically, and then to a different country. We were struggling really as a family, I think, in the first year. Saying that also as a family, I think this was a very important step in our lives. I mean, career-wise, no one knew that it's an unbelievable ride. No one knew that it's going to turn out the way it turned out. Let's be honest. But that's why my second daughter is born here as well. We are now settled in here, and I would 5 years ago never ever thought that I would feel about this place like I do now. And a big part of it is this, obviously the football club, but also the people I'm working with here every day, but also obviously the people around, the supporters. This area where you can feel it's very, very honest and hardworking, and I love that. Like, I love that this is where I can identify myself with the most, and it's just great that we had this unbelievable journey together, and I most definitely consider this my second home, and I hope that latest when Hoggy has his testimonial in 2 years, I think. So it's on camera. Hoggy invited me in case that happens. I think they're definitely going to come back here. For the memory's sake, but also because we found friends here, and this place is very special to us.
Shindy, you've played a massive part in this club's history. On behalf of everyone, staff, supporters, thank you very much for what you've done for this football club.
Thank you as well.